This is some of the biggest news in internet history. This is some of the biggest visibility SEO AI news basically since the launch of ChatGPT. This is huge. Cloudflare just declared war on AI, on LLMs. First, I'm going to share two articles about this. One from Search Engine Land, which I was reading, which explains this well. Then another from The Verge, which I haven't read yet, but it will probably do a good job explaining it as well. I've been doing a lot of research into this too myself. And then I'm going to share the SEO subreddit's reaction to this groundbreaking news. This really is so huge. Okay, so I'm just going to get into it. What is so huge? Cloudflare will block AI crawlers from accessing web pages by default, while providing more granular options for site owners to control the type of AI bots to crawl their pages. In addition, Cloudflare has launched a new initiative to have AI services pay for access to these pages. This new initiative is called Pay Per Crawl. And Pay Per Crawl is in a beta. I read the landing page for Pay Per Crawl. You can Google Cloudflare Pay Per Crawl. It's in beta and you can join it. But even if you don't join it, by default, websites that use Cloudflare will block AI crawlers. Now, there's a nuance to this, and I'm going to keep reading. Cloudflare is, so if you don't know Cloudflare is used by about 20% of the internet. So this is why it's so huge. 20% of the internet uses Cloudflare. So this can pose a serious problem for AI services that train based on the open web. 20% of all that content can just vanish from these AI services. Cloudflare is a significant content delivery network, but also offers cybersecurity, distributed denial of services mitigation, wide area network services, reverse proxies, and more. For Cloudflare to announce it will block AI bots and crawlers by default is a big deal. Any new site, and this is the nuance, so any new site that signs up for Cloudflare will automatically, by default, be set to block AI bots from accessing that content. This will fundamentally change how AI companies access web content going forward, Cloudflare told us. Cloudflare said it has partnered with AI companies to verify the identity and purpose of AI crawlers. Specifically, are the AI bots crawling for training, content generation, or search purposes? This allows site owners and content creators to define more granular controls over what bots they want to allow and which bots they want to disallow. Cloudflare also announced a new compensation initiative to work out a method for AI companies to pay to crawl your content. It is called Pay Per Crawl. In the future, AI companies may also be able to preview content, see how recently it was updated in order to gather the most relevant content for their particular needs, and even access it in a machine-optimized format, the company told us. This initiative will give content creators and site owners a new revenue stream, and AI companies a simple and efficient way to find and access the content they need. Pricing will be determined by both publishers, who can set rates, and AI companies, who can choose whether to access web pages at those rates. Here are some of the publishers and companies that signed on to support this: Adweek, Atlas Obscura, BuzzFeed, Fortune, Stack Overflow, News Media Alliance, The Atlantic, Battelle Media, Evolve Media, Hyperscience, IAB Tech Lab, O'Reilly Media, Quora, Raptive, Sovereign, StockTwits, Third Door Media, Time, Webflow. Wow. And this is a quote from Cloudflare's co-founder and CEO, Matthew Prince. If the internet is going to survive the age of AI, we need to give publishers the control they deserve and build a new economic model that works for everyone: creators, consumers, tomorrow's AI founders, and the future of the web itself. Original content is what makes the internet one of the greatest inventions in the last century, and we have to come together to protect it. AI crawlers have been scraping content without limits. Our goal is to put the power back in the hands of creators while still helping AI companies innovate. This is about safeguarding the future of a free and vibrant internet with a new model that works for everyone. So the article continues: as the largest publisher in the country, comprised of USA Today and over 200 local publications throughout the USA Today network, blocking unauthorized scraping and the use of our original content without fair compensation is critically important. said Ren Torino, Chief Consumer and Product Officer of Gannett Media. As our industry faces these challenges, we are optimistic that Cloudflare technology will help combat the theft of valuable IP. And this is from the CEO of Ziff Davis. We applaud Cloudflare for advocating for a sustainable digital ecosystem that benefits all stakeholders, the consumers who rely on credible information, the publishers who invest in its creation, and the advertisers who support its dissemination. And this is why we care as internet people. So this is again from Search Engine Land. Being able to block AI crawlers from using your content without authorization has not been easy. Many services don't fully respect the robots.txt rules. Others created other methods to control crawling that content management systems have not fully adopted. And some, like Google, lump features like AI overviews and AI mode as part of search. This should not only give publishers and site owners better control over AI crawlers, but also put pressure on these AI companies to find better ways to compensate content creators for using their content going forward. This was written by Barry Schwartz. Barry Schwartz, friend of the podcast, who came on this show a couple of months ago to discuss the March core algorithm update, Google's March core algorithm update, and I'm gonna try to get him back on for this recent June core algorithm update. Let's go to the Verge. So the Verge says the internet architecture, Cloudflare will now block AI crawlers by default. The internet architecture provider will also let some publishers make known AI scrapers pay to crawl their sites. This is actually a pretty short article, so I'm going to share this anyway. It's going to be a lot of what I just read, but if you're still trying to make sense of what's happening, it's going to be summarized in this short format. And then I'm going to get to the SEO community's reactions to this huge update. The major internet architecture provider Cloudflare will now block known AI web crawlers by default to prevent them from accessing content without permission or compensation. With the change, Cloudflare will start asking new domain owners whether they want to allow AI scrapers, and will even let some publishers implement a pay-per-crawl fee. By the way, so when Cloudflare announced this on July 1st, I believe they called it Content Independence Day. Yeah, Content Independence Day. No AI crawl without compensation. That was July 1st. All right, so this Verge article continues. The pay-per-crawl program will let publishers set a price for AI scrapers to access their content. AI companies can then view pricing and choose whether to register for the pay-per-crawl fee or turn away. This is only available for a group of some of the leading publishers and content creators for now, but Cloudflare says it will ensure AI companies can use quality content the right way, with permission and compensation. Cloudflare has been helping domain owners fight AI crawlers for a while now. The company started letting websites block AI crawlers in 2023, but it only applied to ones that abide by a site's robots.txt file, the unenforceable agreement that signals whether bots can scrape its content. Cloudflare began allowing websites to block all AI bots last year, whether they respect a site's robots.txt file or not, and now this setting is enabled by default for new Cloudflare customers. I like this article. It's showing other details. The company identifies scrapers to block by comparing them to a list of known AI bots. Cloudflare also rolled out a feature in March that sends web crawling bots into an AI labyrinth to deter them from scraping sites without permission. Oh my gosh, an AI labyrinth. Imagine you're a bot trying to steal content from a site and you get into this AI labyrinth. Several major publishers and online platforms, including the Associated Press, The Atlantic, Fortune, Stack Overflow, and Quora, are on board with Cloudflare's new AI crawler restrictions as websites contend with a future where more people are finding information through AI chatbots rather than search engines. People trust the AI more over the last 6 months, which means they're not reading original content, Cloudflare CEO Matthew Prince said during the Axios Live event last week. And the article is almost over. Additionally, Cloudflare says it's working with AI companies to help verify their crawlers and allow them to clearly state their purpose, such as whether they're using the content for training, inference, or search. Website owners can then review this information and determine which crawlers to let in. Original content is what makes the internet one of the greatest inventions of the last century, and we have come together to protect it. Prince said in the press release, AI crawlers have been scraping content without limits. Our goal is to put the power back in the hands of creators while still helping AI companies innovate. Let's see what the SEO subreddit is saying. So the post was, paper crawl has been announced, top comment. Or on the flip side, it's the first step towards PPC Gen AI content. Under that, at the moment, I don't see it doing much. All that's going to happen is LLMs are just not going to include those results in their output. If they do, it will only be extremely high value sites. Next comment, how are people buying this? Selling air. This won't protect anyone from plagiarism. You'll always find alternative LLMs that cannot be charged, like DeepSeek. And then the comment under that was, I don't know how LLMs like DeepSeek work, but the pay-per-crawl system, as I understand it, would involve crawlers encountering a payment-required gate before being granted access to the site. Unless they can get through that, they won't have access. And then someone argued, I get the concept. I'm saying people will find alternatives that bypass this. Feels like Cloudflare is just selling a false sense of security. Another Redditor said, I kinda like it. Letting publishers charge LLMs for content access feels like the good old days. Back when newspapers did okay. As someone who worked in the news industry, I see this as a smart move. It won't fix everything overnight, but this start is better than it was last week, month, or year. Cloudflare could take a cut for facilitating that access. Publications still get stuck, but not as bad as today. Publishers get paid, AI models get better data, and users still get answers. Like the good old days, but in an AI era. Nice. But right under that, said another Redditor, I think this is a terrible idea. Much the same as I think the sites blocking AI from crawling will ultimately become invisible to those not already familiar with the brand. Folks just need to get used to the idea of building and investing in lasting brands, and we need to be convincing clients that it's the only way to move forward, which they should have been doing all along. Another Redditor recently started getting inquirers from LLM search. What could go wrong? Somebody else, but then once they have the data, won't they be training on it and then therefore not need to pay anymore eventually? Real-time data, real world, or news, I can see an application. 2 more comments in this. Probably this won't fly much or may not be commercially successful, but it will certainly push LLMs to think on how they can compensate publishers, because with LLMs, publishers are at a huge loss since their revenue model depends on page views. And the last comment, or it could ensure your website isn't crawled at all and never shows up, just like we can all block Google or no index. This is only going to benefit a small subset maybe, and I doubt that even. So this is a huge shakeup to the internet. To the internet as a whole, this is an enormous shakeup. And I'm sure it's going to evolve a lot over the coming weeks and months and years. We will see what happens, and I will share all of that. I will share all of what happens with you on this show. This is episode 731 of my daily digital marketing show. If you want to learn SEO that actually works with LLMs, assuming that you are not blocking them, my 13.5-hour SEO course, compactkeywords.com, will show you just that. It's SEO that gets customers, users, leads. It has been the best form of SEO for years, and now it works with AI as well. It works with ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity. That is at compactkeywords.com. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.